miracle telling everybody in the hospital, I'm all healed now.
Aw, that's
Yeah,
perfect.
I'm all healed now. And she will not take her pain medicine. She has not taken her pain medicine. I spent some time with her yesterday. She just as just as sweet as
Aw,
she could be, just as happy as she could be, playing. And I mean, she had her tonsils out the day before. You know,
wow. That's amazing, hey?
it is amazing. It's like, oh my goodness. Oh, what a amazing she is an amazing little child. I'm telling
That
you what,
I'm all
she's
healed.
all healed now. Yeah, she is. Oh my gosh, such a smart little thing and just unbelievable. But anywho, so we have our book up, and are we on? Which one are we on? Learning in the Magical Atonement.
That's right, yes.
Okay, all right. I'll read this section. All right. Oh, and let's see, is that me? Excuse me, my goodness. Didn't mean to make that loud coughing. Okay, so learning in the magical atonement, a journey to strength. Let's embark on a journey to understand something amazing called learning and discover a superpower called the atonement. You see, learning is like an adventure where we gain knowledge and become better at things. But guess what? Learning is temporary because eventually we won't need it anymore. In the beginning, we had to learn to make better choices because we made some not so great ones. It's like leveling up in a video game, going from one degree to the next. But here's the cool part. The atonement is like a magic tool that helps us undo our past mistakes and saves us time so we can move forward without constantly looking back. The atonement is all about making things right and protecting ourselves. It's not about attacking others, which is what happens when we use the two-way defenses. Miracles, our special superpower, help us turn the atonement into a shield that, let's see, did I just do that? Into a shield that, what happened here? This black bar is here. So it's okay. Don't move it because I just had moved it out. How did I do that? Then I muted myself.
I was
I'm just
just gonna say you're muted.
I'm trying to figure out how um uh I got this black bar out of the way, and it was been out of the way before. Let's see, is there a way I can blah 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 blah. No.
Is it the floating panel?
Yeah, but it's not floating. Seriously, it's like just stuck
If
here.
if you go to the three dots, can you click it and say hide floating panel?
No, it's not even showing that on the
Can
three
you
dots.
press escape?
Oh,
ESC
let me try that.
corner, top left.
Press escape. My favorite thing. Nope, that doesn't help.
Didn't help either.
Uh, but it just disappeared just a minute ago. Honestly, it just was gone. And for just a second, I saw those words below there. And then
Just
it
make
just,
this bigger and maybe it'll.
let's see.
Did I
Um,
wreck? Did I wreck it? Now here it
no,
is. Did
no.
it
Okay.
move it? I moved it.
Okay. Oh, you moved it. Okay. So let's see. Um,
It's not
it-
about attacking others. Miracles help us turn the atonement up here,
okay,
there.
I see that. All right, that works. Into a shield that protects our inner selves and our others. When we reinterpret our defenses, we make them stronger and more dependable. They become like our trusty sidekicks, helping us in our journey. Excuse me. journey to becoming the best versions of ourselves. So remember, learning is like an exciting adventure, and the atonement is our superhero power, making us strong and ready to protect the world with kindness and love.
Woo! That's
Yeah,
awesome.
really. That is awesome.
So isn't that cool that we don't need to learn anymore because it's just going to be the way it happens, that we're just going to automatically go to the miracle and saying, okay, better way, let's see you, and not defend and attack others. I love
Yeah,
it.
not even have to think about it at all. Not to have to think
Yeah.
about any of it. It just because we've already made the decision for God. And so
Yes. Yes.
having made that decision, we are uh going to always be on the right track, always be on the right road. It will never, even if it seems like we're lost somehow or the other, it's always the right road. So this is pretty amazing when you think about it. You cannot make a mistake and nothing can go wrong. What a great
Nice. Hmm.
it
Yeah.
has
Wow.
some, what it's like the absolute get out of free jail free card here. So, but
That's amazing. I love it. I love it. It's so simple and clear. I love this children's edition. It's really been just deepening everything for me because it just clicks. So
yeah,
good.
I love it.
Hmm. Should we read the next section?
Yeah, go ahead and read the next section unless somebody wants to share something. But there's only us and Ricky are the only people here. So, so go ahead.
The Inner Temple and the Magical Atonement. Let's go on a magical journey to discover the wonders of the atonement and the temple within. You know, sometimes we think the atonement is something outside of us, but it's not. It's a special feeling that lives deep inside. Imagine your body as a temple, like a beautiful castle. But guess what? The real treasure isn't the castle, it's the secret altar inside. That's where the atonement belongs, right at the center of the altar. It's like a key that unlocks our true selves and makes us feel whole and strong. You see, a long time ago, people got a little mixed up. They thought the temple's beauty was all about the building, but it's not. The real beauty is inside, where the atonement shines brightly. Our spiritual eye, which can see the magic in everything, can see it perfectly. The atonement is like a shield that protects us from feeling separated and scared. It helps us remember that we were never meant to be afraid because fear and separation are just silly ideas our minds made up. So, the atonement is here to heal our hearts and make us invulnerable to fear. One day, everyone will understand the atonement, and it will be like a big happy party. Even though it may seem like we don't have a choice, we do. We can choose to see the beauty inside the temple. And when we do, we'll be filled with joy and love. It might feel a little tricky at first, like a game of tug of war between our regular eyes and our spiritual eye. But in the end, the magic of the atonement is as certain as the sun rising every day. Boom. Wow. I love that. The spiritual eye and our regular eyes. That's perfect, eh?
Yeah, that's really lovely. And getting us remembering that the what is within us is the reality of what we are. And it's not so hard when you think about yourself as housing a temple or housing a shrine. Uh, so yeah, that's
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good one. Yeah, like the body's the building, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I see that. The one thing that I don't know, I'm just a little troubled by is this word atonement in the book. I just feel like it's really big. Like, I mean, I'm reading it and I'm like, what the hell's that again? What the hell's that? I'm reading it as a kid or as I'm trying to maybe read it to children. And I'm just struggling with it because I don't know that it would be understood.
Well, I think that the way he kind of talks about it and describes it earlier in the book, like on the one that I read, that uh, let's th- let's embark on a journey to understand something amazing called learning and discover a superpower called the atonement. So he's talking about what the atonement is, and it is a superpower, and it's all about making things right. It's a thing that helps us undo our past. So he talks about it, I think, pretty clearly to me. And of course, but since I don't even understand what it is, it's hard for me to imagine kids. But I'm telling you what, when I was a kid, I understood the whole Trinity. I understood the virgin birth. I understood the how and why the communion worked. I didn't ask, they told me, oh, this is, he's turning these little wafers into, the body of Christ. And, okay, that's what I believe. I believed a lot of stuff that was ridiculous. And the whole ideas of uh, when you die, you're either going to go to heaven or hell or purgatory or uh, limbo if you were unbaptized baby or so I believed a lot of crazy stuff. So I think a kid can get a picture of what the atonement is. It's not too uh, difficult.
I
Um,
like that. I like that. Then that helps me. Thank you. Yeah, because you're right. I believed all that too. And I understood the wafer was the body. And yeah. Okay, good. That helps me. And yeah, like to reiterate what I just read, even the atonement is like a shield that protects us from feeling separated and scared. So yeah, there's lots of little blurbs here about what it is. I just hadn't yeah, I gotta thank you. That
yeah.
was very helpful for me. Good.
Thank you. It was very helpful for me too. And you have to understand, you're not asking a question that I don't need to know the answer to. That's, we're here doing, we're doing
Yeah,
it.
you're right, right, right. That we discover it together anyway. Just asking it is, I'm glad I asked it instead of sitting here being, afraid to ask. And then having the ego come in and take over completely by, well, I don't know what that is. And just then I can't even settle in on any other learning. So this is happening. Look at that. I mean, I didn't think about it. I just asked it. I was like, "Oh, I'm a little bothered." And it's okay to say that. I'm not mad about it. I'm just asking and you're not mad at me about it and telling me, "Oh, well, how can you not get that? Are you stupid?" Like there's, I've had that happen when I've asked questions.
I know it. People
And
do that.
I've had people tell me I ask too many questions. And so this is good for me. And I'm just appreciative that I just went right out and said it. And you're just like, well, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very comforting. So thank you, Lynn. You're very easy to ask a question to. So I appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
I don't
Thank
feel
you.
like a complete dodo
Well,
bird.
I'll tell you why, Audrey, think about this. You wouldn't ask the question if I didn't need to know the answer.
Mm,
It's for me. That's what you have to keep remembering. This is for me. So if somebody says something to you, asks you a question, whatever, it's because you're not clear on it yourself, and
right.
you need
Right.
to look at it from a different direction, or let the Holy Spirit help you understand it. So um these are gifts that we give each other. When you ask a question, it's a question that is in my mind, and I didn't even think about asking it.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Lynn. Wow.
Well, thank you. It's awesome.
And I
All right.
just want to welcome Cindy because I saw
Oh,
her
hi,
come in,
Cindy.
and I don't know if you want to
Huh.
talk, Cindy.
Oh, hi, guys. No,
Oh,
my connection is going in and out really. It's not a good connection, so I'm just listening.
Okay. Well, good. Welcome, Cindy. It's good to see you, sweetheart.
yeah.
Okay, so shall we read on? I figured out how to get rid of that bar. I had to move my cursor off of it.
Oh,
My
that's
cursor
easy.
was on the screen, that bar comes
Oh.
up, and when I move my cursor off the screen, the
Oh,
bar goes away.
right. Okay,
So,
got you.
yeah,
Good. Okay.
yeah. Okay. Does anybody else want to read? Ricky, want to read? Dove? Not sure who's all here, really. Okay,
I guess
I'll
you,
read.
yeah, I think we're here, right?
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. The inner temple and the magical atonement. Let's go on a magical journey to discover the wonders of the atonement and the temple within you. Sometimes we think that the atonement is something outside of us, but it's not. It's a special feeling that lives deep inside. Imagine your body as a temple, like a beautiful castle. But guess what? The real treasure isn't the castle, it's the secret altar inside. That's where the atonement belongs, right at the center of the altar. It's like a key that unlocks our true selves and makes us feel whole and strong. You see, a long time ago, people got a little mixed up. Let's see. I
Why
already
do
read that.
I'm
I
like,
already,
did I read this one?
we already read
But
that.
but it's okay because it's reiterating what I was just asking, which is hilarious. It's like,
Yeah, it
oh,
is.
it's telling all the things again.
That's exactly it. Oh my gosh.
We
Oh,
didn't read this one, but we did read the parts. It's really cementing what atonement is. Oh
that is
boy.
hilarious. Oh my
Isn't
goodness.
it?
So okay.
Oh
Uh,
no, I did read this one. Oh my
this is how
gosh.
Jesus rearranges everything. Well, see, but you see that whole thing was because we needed to look
We
at that.
need to look at it. Yeah.
Like, okay.
All right, we can
All
move
right.
on now.
Move
Here,
on
I'll
to the
move it.
next. All right.
Whoop,
All
sorry.
right. All
Yeah,
right.
down here. There.
Okay, the magical spiritual eye. Is that where
Yeah.
we're at? Okay, I'll take
Oh,
that.
that's funny.
All right. The magical spiritual eye and the gift of atonement. Let's explore a wonderful world of the spiritual eye and the amazing gift called the atonement. Imagine the special eye as a superhero eye that can't see mistakes. It only looks for ways to make things better. It's like having a magical treasure map. This magical eye knows that the inside of you, your altar, sometimes gets a little messy. It's okay. We all make mistakes, but this eye sees past those mistakes and looks straight at the truth. It's super strong and it can help your willpower become even stronger too. It's like having a wise mentor inside your mind. When you use this special eye, you realize that waiting and feeling uncomfortable is not fun at all. You start to trust that everything will be okay. And guess what? You deserve to feel perfectly comfortable and happy. It's your birthright as a child of God. Sometimes we try all sorts of things to feel better, but the real magic is already inside us. The atonement is like a fantastic gift we can offer to God's altar because it's the most special thing we have. It helps us heal and feel close to God and each other. So remember, young adventurer, you have a magical spiritual eye, and the atonement is your super gift. Together, they guide you towards a world of healing and happiness, and you're not alone on this journey. God and your fellow children of God are right there with you. Amen.
Amen. Indeed. And that sure gave me more clarity about the atonement and the magical spiritual eye. I love having the wise mentor in my mind. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that makes me think. I have I don't know if you know who Mary Gerard Linehan is.
No.
She lives in St. Louis, and she's a Course of Miracles teacher, and she has a thing called Pause for Inspiration. And they go around to schools and stuff and teach kids how to stop and pause for inspiration and become, to go within and ask, what should I do about this? And I mean, the school systems have them come in, the businesses have them come in and teach people, law enforcement, government people
Nice.
have them come in and teach them how to do this pause for inspiration. And it's such a great thing that that she and the reason, honestly, I mean, this is kind of crazy. The reason that she's able to do that is because she has a boyfriend who's like owns this big construction company and has a lot of money, and he basically pays for the printing of her pamphlets and all that kind of stuff. It's total nonprofit, and what a great gift.
Yeah.
For
Wow.
somebody to have to be able to do to share that very thing. But I'm not sure why I started thinking about, because she has an audiobook. She has a book called The Mentor Within, and
Oh.
it is this inner voice that speaks to her, and it's really beautiful. It's really good. I have it on is it on Audible or something? Anyway, I play it sometimes in the room. It is really, really gorgeous. And that's what she's talking about, the mentor within. And that's what he's talking about here, the mentor within, that is always there to answer your questions whenever you have a need. It's a beautiful thing.
You know
What are
what?
you?
Oops.
I just want
Go
to know
ahead.
what you're reading from.
Right here, this is the children's edition of A Course in Miracles.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's A Course in Miracles for kids.
I
So
forget
Perfect
what
for
was.
me.
yeah, me too. All right, Ozzy, you want to read on?
Yeah, I just was gonna say, like, I love having the wise mentor, or like what I like about it is, I don't know, you might like this, Lynn, is that it start like when we have two words, one of them being a W and one of them being an M. To me, because they're flipped, right? The W and
Uh-huh.
M are flipped. It just helps me remember the wise mentor, because it kind of like in my brain I see the W, but the M goes on top of it. It kind of makes it one word.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It's just funny. I'm weird like that. And I love that you said that she has a voice inside her that she calls the wise mentor, or what, and
Mentor within.
the mentor within, sorry, mentor within also. See, wise mentor,
MW, yeah.
mentor within, either way. and
Yeah.
um and I've been struggling with this a little bit, and this is a helpful answer to that, is that I've been hearing that people say, like, the voice or God is not it's not usually a voice, it's not words, it's more feeling, because um God doesn't know words or speak in words. It's this direct experience feeling. So I've been like, oh my gosh, have I been duped all this time? Like,
How do you think we got A Course in Miracles? That's
right,
words, isn't it?
yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So I
Yeah.
can be rest assured that I do hear the actual words, because it's not my own. Like, I'll ask a question and it'll be a different voice answering. And I thought, oh, I came to the conclusion thinking, oh my God, that's my ego too. It's not God.
Yeah, don't let that kind of stuff get to you, honey. That's not true. Ricky has her hand up. Go ahead, Ricky.
Thank you, honey. I really like when it talks about having a messy altar. I think that's the coolest thing, that it's okay to have a messy altar. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to have a messy bedroom, and it's okay to be messy, you know, and then to have that reassurance that it'll get unmessy too. It kind of takes the pressure off me as a little kid. And I think that's what I wanted to say. And thank you guys for having this. It's so wonderful to see this talked about. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate it too, and thank you for being here with us and being a part of this. And yeah, I have a pretty messy room too. I'm definitely not uh not Miss Neat and Tidy. It's just not in my nature because I don't notice stuff. I don't notice things like a lot of other people do. Partially because I'm partially blind. So my vision is really poor. So there could be something right in front of me. I don't even see it. So that's one thing. But then the other thing is like, I just I want to do what I need to do at this moment. And I know Iris in the last hour was talking about washing the dishes, and yeah, you wash the dishes when it's time to wash the dishes, or you clean your room when it's time to clean your room, but you don't there's nothing saying that um being there's anything wrong with any of it. And yeah, the Holy Spirit doesn't care that our altar is messy. It's going to be messy because we're really confused and we have a lot of ideas about things and we have a lot of questions. So, there's going to be messy, but you don't have to be sad about it. There's nothing to feel bad about. It's perfect the way it is. So, I guess that's all I have to say. So
I think I'm just gonna say something, because I know at the start it said, oh, well, there's not a lot of people and maybe not a lot of conversation, but I think that I'm just gonna make a correction to my brother, my sister, Lynn, and say, you and I and Ricky, and if Cindy pops in here and there, we make the room too.
Yeah.
We're good enough to be here and get to have the things answered and an experience. And I don't mind it, even if it was just you and I, or like I'm grateful for it. So I just wanted to let you know that I think it's perfect no matter which way it is and how many people are here. So
Thank you, Auntie. And
okay.
it's right. That's exactly right. There's nothing, uh,
Only takes two to tango. So here we
exactly.
are. I don't know.
Exactly.
Does Ricky want to read? Maybe Ricky wants to read our next section if
Ricky
we're ready.
can read if you point me in the right direction. I can do that. Yeah.
All right, right here.
Okie doke. And are we reading the whole thing, the section there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Healing as release from fear, the magical art of healing and atonement. Let's talk about something super cool. Healing and a magical thing called atonement. Imagine atonement like a magical remedy, healing like a superhero power, and together they make a perfect team. Now, some people talk about a miracle of healing, but healing itself isn't a miracle. Healing is like a superhero's job, and atonement is a super principle that helps it happen. When we heal, we're actually getting rid of fear, and that's awesome. You see, Sometimes our minds get a little confused, and that can make our bodies feel not so great. But the mind is the real magician here. It can make the body act funny because of those confusing thoughts. We call that not right-mindedness. But guess what? Our bodies are super smart too. They can't create problems on their own. It's like magic tricks. They only work when we believe in them. Sometimes we think our bodies can do magic, like create problems or get sick, but that mix up. The mind is the real creator, and it can't create problems outside of itself. So when we understand this, we know that our bodies are just learning tools for our minds. They help us think and learn, but they can't mess things up all on their own. So remember, young adventurer, healing is like a superpower that helps us get rid of fear and confusion. And atonement is our magical remedy that brings everything back to happiness and peace. Our bodies are part of the adventure too. And when we understand them better, we become even stronger superheroes of the mind. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I just love that. It's a way to help us right down to the kids, but I mean all of us too. That's what I love about ACIMC is it really it's like a chance for me to have a second childhood, and it's showing me how to do it. You know, our bodies are part of the adventure too, because that's what I'm learning is this is all about just experiencing. I don't have to do it a particular way. I don't have to think it a particular way. I just hang out and not worry about it. And this is really teaching that big time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ricky. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And I just got a message from Devin. He didn't realize we were doing this right now either. That's why he left. And it's okay. Uh,
Aw,
we're all
we-
confused we said we were going to do it every other week. So, but he didn't realize, and that's how I was so confused too about the time, because you guys said the 29th, and I'm like, okay, well then we have one more week of the children's edition. So yeah, it's all cool. I love it.
I think
But
so. I think we'll get it figured out. And you know what? That's a great thing. It's on YouTube. So people can always go and listen to it there too.
yep, exactly.
And
So
I love this one. This is perfect. Like, how great of an explanation here. Like, it's just so perfect. Our bodies are they can't create problems all on their own. It's really teaching us that it's from the mind. It's the mind here, and that's perfect. I love that. And like Ricky said, I too feel like I can go back in my mind and it's resetting all of that stuff that I had learned before. It's like all of a sudden a pop, like something blows up, like not blows up, but just pops like a bubble, like just gently, not the balloon banging that sound, but the little soap bubbles just pop, pop, pop. Like that's all done. I don't even have to believe that anymore. Wow. Gorgeous. Thank you.
really, yep, I love it. All right.
I'm sorry. Something I wanted to say was, and while I remember it, and God knows at 71, I don't always remember it, so I got it this time. Anyway, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I love music because music has always been my life, as far as it's helping me to think things. When I don't know what I'm thinking, all of a sudden a song will come into my head. And so for the past month, it's been Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It's all very clear. You were meant to be here from the beginning. And it's like just a reassurance to me and it kind of keeps my head low as far as getting in there and just getting crazy on myself. Thanks.
Oh, I love that. I have that song. I'll play it at the end because I really like that too. Yep, he's one of my favorite And you say you're 71. When was your birthday?
About a month after yours, honey, March 23rd.
Oh, oh,
So about
okay,
6 weeks. Yep. And I'm a
Very
projector like you are too.
Oh my goodness. Yep. We are all we're all meant to be here together in this place, and I love it. I love it. I love it. That that we've been called together, and and it's so funny how we did it. I mean, it's like uh how do I even know Devin? Such a weird thing because I think I first met Devin from my friend Jennifer, but I'm not sure because I might have met him from Regina. I'm not sure because he was, but I'm pretty sure I didn't meet him from Vicky and Teddy because I wasn't out there at their place at the time. But he's like entwined with all of my, people that I've, had relationships with and have, so much love for. He's been a part of that in so many ways. And so, you think about it, it's all very clear. We were meant to be here from the beginning, is right. All right. So who wants to read? Is it Magical
I can-
Miss?
Yeah, I think, is it? Yeah, we're on magical miracles and the power of healing.
Okay,
I'll-
you're gonna read it.
Yeah, I'll read. Let's
Okay.
explore the world of healing and magic together. Imagine that when we feel unwell, we sometimes look for special things like medicines to make us better. These medicines are like magical potions we use to help our bodies heal. You know, a long time ago, people thought that our bodies made themselves sick, like they had a magical power to do that. And they tried to use other special things to make the sickness go away. But guess what? It doesn't really work like magic. Using these medicines is not a bad thing. Sometimes they can help us feel better, especially when we are too scared or not feeling quite right. It's like using training wheels when you're learning to ride a bike. Sometimes when people are very, very scared, we have to be gentle and use things from the outside to help them feel better. It's like giving them a little bit of comfort so they can start feeling less scared. You see, the real magic is in understanding that our minds have a lot of power. And when we're not scared, our minds can work like magic to heal our bodies and make us feel better. It's all about making our thoughts happier and kinder. So remember that healing is like a magical adventure, and sometimes we use outside things to help. But the real magic is inside our minds. And when we understand that, we become superheroes of healing and happiness. Woohoo! This is awesome. I love it. So, yeah, it's okay to use medicine and things like that because, I think for me, I use lots of medicines now, and that's a huge thing for me because I used to be adamant that XYZ doesn't exist, that that I control my mind, and I shouldn't need medicine for it. But that was Audrey thinking she controls the mind. It was when Audrey has to just say, look, I don't know what anything's for. When Audrey gets the idea, yeah, that's what this is for. Boop, 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 boop. Well, then things can go awry. I mean, sometimes it all works out okay, but usually if I'm in there trying to, no, I'm going to turn left, even though I really feel to turn right, that's when I can get into more of a mess. It feels like tornado sometimes, but this is so clear. I love that. Like it's okay to be scared. It's okay to use something to feel less scared. Like even as a kid, you know, you have your blanket or your favorite toy, even the soother when you're little. Like there's so much that we've put in for comforts, aren't there? I mean, yeah. So thank you. That was awesome. Anybody else have anything?
I just want to say, can you hear me, you guys?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear
Okay.
you.
Oh, good. When you were describing in your mind when you were, you knew to take the left, but that would be the right way, but instead you went the other direction. Ozzy, I really do relate to that. As soon as I um, know that I've made a wrong decision, I notice it, and at least I'm noticing it. I guess is what I'm trying to say, and but I can really relate with how you describe it, and this is like reiterating the course to me. It's like it's simply put, and it's describing the parts that I know pretty well in my head already. Whereas when I'm reading the course, I do have to think about it and mull it over and stuff. So this is really helping me. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, go ahead,
Sorry.
Ozzy.
Sorry, Lynn.
Go ahead.
Cindy, is this your first time like hearing ACIM for children? Because wow,
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
you must just be. I remember when I first heard it, I was just like, wow, oh my gosh, isn't it amazing?
Yeah, it really is. It's really simplifying things for me. And like I said, it's reiterating what I know, but like the course goes into much deeper detail, and I can get lost in it. So this is very helpful.
That's
Ricky.
very cool.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Because I've been in the course for over 30 years, and that's exactly what was happening. Is I was getting muddied down. I didn't have a teacher. Thank God I found Evan. I didn't have a teacher, and I kept going round in it. And it's like then I go round in it again and round in it again. And I'm so grateful that Devin brought A Course in Miracles Children's to us, because it freshens me. It's like getting a facelift, and it's bringing uh, that sparkle back, because I was losing the sparkle in ACI, in A Course in Miracles, because it was over and over, and I kept beating myself up like I was doing something wrong. And then through Devin, I got that freshness, and then from being able to help him and go through children's edition, it's 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 another miracle all over again. And thank you guys for loving it, because I love it too.
Yeah, thank you. I love it too. Yep. And it's just such a miracle. All of these things are such miracles to me. And I mean that in the absolute reality of miracles, because they used to say when people would ask, some teachers, what about children? Can we teach this? And they would say, oh no, this is just too much. Children couldn't understand this. But children can understand this. They can understand, like I said, if I could understand the Catholic Church and the dogma that they taught me, then definitely children can understand what the principles of A Course in Miracles. And I mean, seriously, it's all just wow, such a gift. All right.
So
Go ahead.
Ricky, to what you were saying, Ricky, it's bringing out, making me realize my innocence when you're talking about, puts the spark in your eyes and whatever. It brings me back to my innocence.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, reminding me of my inner child and that innocence, and just bringing that into adulthood. Like, I just love being silly now too. Like, I mean, the other day I was eating something, and I walked with it over to Ash, and I said, remember all those years when you were little and I would complain to you and be like, get a plate, you should eat with a plate. And I took the food and I just started eating it, and all the crumbs spilt all over the floor. And I said, I'm over that. I am so over that, and I'm sorry. And he was
That's
just
great.
laughing, because it's like, wow, I spent so much time being so uptight, just wound up tight.
Ditto on that one.
In fear. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Such deep fear that comes into us, but thinking that we're going to do something wrong, or that our mom taught us a certain way things should be, and if we don't do it that way, we're going to get in trouble. And we would, believe me. My mom was definitely heavy-handed when it came to get me in trouble. But
How about all the secrets we had to keep?
oh my gosh.
And then
Oh,
just to learn from the course, there are no secret thoughts. That's
Yeah,
funny.
it is funny.
oh my
Um,
God, it's so true, you guys. Like, I used to have to keep like silly things secret. I remember one year I went to Las Vegas for Christmas, because I was a single mom, and the dad had my boy that year for Christmas. So I went with my boyfriend at the time, who's my husband now. We went to Las Vegas, and my mom was like, yeah, don't tell your dad. He'll just be all upset. So I didn't, even though I felt like I wanted to. And then what happened was the father of my child phoned
Right,
the grandparents for Christmas, and then
right.
mentioned that I was in Vegas to my dad. And then he's upset, because it's like, well, why didn't anybody tell? Like, then he's upset for not being told. And it's
Yep.
like, why did we not tell him? I don't get it. Like, what
well, and
the hey?
that comes down to that thing of, you know, I don't trust you. I can't tell you
Yeah,
that I don't trust you.
Yeah,
And that may be completely wrong. There may be no reason for you not to trust your dad, to know that you went to Vegas.
yeah,
What was he gonna do? Come take your birthday away? Oh man, I brought you into this world, but you screwed things up now, Audie. No, he's not gonna do anything to you. You're a grown-up woman with a child. You know,
exactly. It was just like, I don't know why they thought he would even be upset about it. It's just funny.
and
I don't know. Go
and
ahead, Cindy. Yeah. Oh,
subsequently, um, keeping those. Is there
okay, we're,
sound?
yeah, we weren't hearing you for a minute.
Oh, I was just saying how, as a child, keeping secrets like that leads us to guilty
Yeah,
feelings. So there you go.
well, yeah. And the reason why I just went along with it as an adult is because that's how it always was as a child. Well, don't tell your
Exactly.
father. Well, don't tell your. So it just kept going. And now it's like, no, I'm
Yeah,
just going to tell him when I talk to him. I can tell him whatever I want about
yeah.
my life. So, yeah,
And that
it's,
and that still goes on with as adults with friends, which can really
yes.
cause messes. And
yeah,
you know, so
absolutely. It's crazy. So,
in our innocence, something gets said, and then that person finds out, and then you're the culprit, or you're that horrible person, and all along you're just like, I didn't know what I was doing. Anyway,
yeah. So,
that's kind of what I'm going. I'm go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead. What were you gonna say, Cindy?
Oh, that's what I'm going through right now with this place I'm staying with these people.
Oh,
And yeah, so anyway, it's a lesson. It's, what's the lesson in here? So um, I innocently said something that I shouldn't have, and now I'm, being uh, admonished in a way. And so I am, at first, I had all these, shame or whatever. And so what does this lead me to? What's the shame leading me to? And it's like, I speak without thinking, and then so that led me to a real character defect that I have, and so I've been examining that.
What a character
Very
defect of always telling the truth. Is that what your character defect is? You're telling the truth?
The good thing is, when I was confronted, I didn't try to sidestep it or make an excuse, or I just said, "Yes, you're right. I did. I'm sorry," and I owned it, and that's a step forward for me. But there are unforeseen consequences in this world that, if it was a perfect world, I would be forgiven. But now I'm not. So now I'm like, okay, it just brought me in closer to listening to the Holy Spirit and really going down deep and exploring, what's this all about. So anyway, it's not a mistake that I tuned in today. So that, yeah, I thank you. I kind of needed to say something to somebody, but anyway, all right.
Well, and thank you, Cindy. I love that you can come to a space and just really be vulnerable and say it. I mean, that takes a lot to even admit it. I remember when I would first start to say things, that were happening. But one of the things I realized was that I had to forgive myself. Like,
Yes.
it doesn't matter what the other people are doing anymore. I mean, that took so many lessons for me, and I still forget when something will come up and I'm like, geez, what does this mean for me? Like, get out of this habit, Audrey,
Yes.
of looking at the other people. Who cares, really? Not who cares in the sense of FUCK, but like just really shining it back on my own mind. What is here for me, Holy Spirit? That's my saving grace now. And I love that we're in this space that I can hear that so clearly. I hear it. Yeah. Thank you, Cindy.
I love it. So beautiful. I love this group. I love us all so much. So if I think we should stop here.
Yes.
And I will play that song. So
just gonna bookmark it.
Oh, that's a smart way to do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Cindy, you're cut out again, just
yeah, you're
so you know.
Out, Cindy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I don't know.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Cindy.
And really,
oh, there she is.
You guys, this is wonderful. So,
all right, I love you guys. All right, I'm going to play this song and then we'll close out. Let's see.
It sounds funny, Lynn.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it's not really cutting. It's kind of cutting out. Okay, there it is. There it is. Beautiful. Start over. Nice.
Don't mean I'm blind. Perhaps there's a thing or two I think of lying in bed I shouldn't have said, but there it is. changed, not been so cruel, not been such a fool. Whatever was done is done. I just can't recall. It doesn't matter at all. You see, it's all clear. You are meant to be here from the beginning.
All right, Emerson, Lake and Palmer from the beginning. I love you guys. Thank you, everyone.
Love
Love
you,
you too.
Lynn. Love
Thank
you,
you, Lynn.
Ricky.
Love you too, guys. Bye-bye.